The second dynasty in ancient Egypt began around 2890 BCE after a period of political unrest. The first pharaoh of this dynasty, Hotepsekhemwy, managed to stabilize the country and restore balance and unity, continuing the centralized rule established by his predecessors. This dynasty saw continuous efforts to strengthen central authority under pharaohs like Hotepsekhemwy and Raneb, who maintained strict control over the administrative apparatus and provincial governors to ensure the effective implementation of the pharaoh's orders throughout Egypt. Raneb introduced significant religious changes by integrating the worship of different deities from Upper and Lower Egypt, which helped unify the people culturally and reinforced the pharaoh's status as a mediator between the gods and the people. Under the rule of Raneb and Nynetjer, Egypt experienced economic growth due to improved agricultural practices and expanded trade routes. The administration managed resources more efficiently, ensuring that the wealth generated benefited the state and its people. Nynetjer made significant improvements in the bureaucracy by restructuring the administrative system, which improved governance and tax collection, contributing to the smooth functioning of the state and maintaining control over distant territories. The second dynasty continued the architectural traditions of its predecessors with numerous building projects, including temples and royal tombs, which demonstrated the pharaoh's power and centralized control over resources and labor. Egypt significantly expanded its trade networks during this period, bringing wealth and exotic items through the exchange of goods with neighboring regions such as Nubia and the Levant, helping establish Egypt as a dominant power in the ancient world. Pharaohs of the second dynasty conducted several military campaigns to secure and expand Egypt's borders, helping protect trade routes and ensure the kingdom's security. Nynetjer is known for implementing legal and administrative reforms that improved the justice system and governance, contributing to stability and order within the kingdom. The second dynasty was marked by efforts to integrate the diverse cultures of Upper and Lower Egypt through religious practices, administrative policies, and intermarriages among the elite, creating a cohesive national identity that was vital for the kingdom's stability and prosperity. Around 2890 BCE, Egypt saw a significant transition as the highly unstable period following the end of the first dynasty gave way to the dawn of the second dynasty. At the helm of this new era was Pharaoh Hotepsekhemwy, a ruler whose name meant the two powers are at peace. His name would prove to be an apt descriptor of his reign. The first dynasty had left Egypt in a state of turbulence, both politically and socially. As the centralized rule weakened, regional leaders began vying for power, leading to short but intense skirmishes. Hotepsekhemwy's ascent to power marked a significant turn in restoring order. Stepping into the chaotic scenario, Hotepsekhemwy's first moves were directed towards consolidating power and bringing together the fragmented factions. His strategic alliances and diplomatic acumen facilitated the process of unification. As he stabilized the nation, he restored the centralized governance that his predecessors had established. Hotepsekhemwy's administration worked meticulously to re-establish the bureaucratic systems that had once held Egypt together. Records suggest he also initiated significant construction projects, reinstating a sense of normalcy and progress. The pharaoh managed to infuse confidence among his subjects, ensuring loyalty through both military might and benevolent leadership. His reign symbolized the beginning of a peaceful era, with stability and unity reflecting the core principles of his leadership. Although the specific details of his architectural contributions remain sparse, the restoration of harmony and centralized governance during his era laid the foundation for future pharaohs to build upon. The legacy of Hotepsekhemwy's rule is a testament to his ability to navigate the complex political landscape of ancient Egypt, restoring balance and setting the stage for the prosperity of the second dynasty. In the ancient world, during the time when the powerful dynasties ruled over Egypt, a pharaoh named Raneb ascended to the throne, succeeding Hotepsekhemwy. Raneb was not just a ruler of lands and people, he was a visionary who understood the intricate web that wove together the spiritual and cultural life of his kingdom. Recognizing the diversity within his realm, Raneb initiated monumental changes that would echo through the annals of history. One of the most crucial aspects of his reign was the integration of different deities from Upper and Lower Egypt into a unified pantheon. The land of Egypt was historically divided along cultural lines, with distinct gods and rituals in the north and south. These differences had often sown seeds of division among the people. Raneb saw an opportunity to foster unity by merging these divergent traditions. He decreed that temples dedicated to gods from both regions be established throughout the country, promoting the worship of a single set of deities. This decision wasn't merely political, it was deeply spiritual. Raneb presented himself as the divine mediator who could communicate with the gods on behalf of his people. In ceremonies and public rituals, he would often perform acts of devotion to both northern and southern deities, thus legitimizing his rule and strengthening his divine status. This integration of worship not only united the people under a common spiritual framework but also reinforced the idea of the pharaoh as an intermediary between the divine and mortal worlds. The establishment of unified worship practices helped diminish regional rivalries and created a more cohesive and stable society. The reverence for the pharaoh as a god-king was solidified, ensuring loyalty and reverence from his subjects. Raneb's religious reforms were viewed as wise and discerning, reflecting his keen understanding of the deep spiritual vein that ran through the heart of ancient Egyptian society. By harmonizing the religious practices of Upper and Lower Egypt, Raneb left an indelible mark on the cultural and spiritual landscape of his nation, paving the way for future generations to build on a foundation of unity and shared belief. His reign is remembered not just for its political achievements but for the profound cultural and religious integration that helped sustain the kingdom's grandeur for centuries to come. The Second Dynasty of ancient Egypt marked a significant phase in consolidating central authority. Pharaohs like Hotepsekhemwy and Raneb were pivotal figures in this period, taking major strides to ensure the stability and control of their reigns. They understood the importance of a robust administrative apparatus and worked diligently to implement and maintain such a system. Hotepsekhemwy, the founder of the Second Dynasty, undertook measures to bring the provincial governors firmly under his control. By introducing a more centralized administration, he could issue decrees that were faithfully executed across Egypt, reducing the power and autonomy of local rulers. This system of control not only eased the governance process but also curtailed any potential uprisings or rebellions against his rule. Raneb, succeeding Hotepsekhemwy, continued these policies with equal vigor. He strengthened the administrative structures established by his predecessor, ensuring that the orders from the central authority were followed without resistance. Raneb appointed loyal officials to key positions within the administration, further cementing the pharaoh's grip on power. The efforts of these pharaohs in centralizing authority were crucial in laying down the framework for a unified and efficiently governed Egypt. Their consolidation of power facilitated advancements in various fields, including construction, agriculture, and trade, which flourished under their stable rule. The Second Dynasty's strategic governance policies thus played a critical role in shaping the future of ancient Egypt, paving the way for the prosperity that followed in subsequent dynasties. In the ancient land of Egypt, among the Golden Sands and the majestic Nile, ruled Pharaoh Nynetjer, a sovereign of the Second Dynasty. Nynetjer, with his vision and wisdom, recognized that to hold together the vast stretches of his realm, effective administration was paramount. One morning, as the sun's first rays kissed the stone walls of his palace, Nynetjer convened his council of advisors. He spoke of creating a system that would bring order and efficiency to the governance of his kingdom. His words were imbued with the determination to see Egypt flourish under a structured bureaucracy. Nynetjer's first move was to reorganize the administrative framework. He initiated the division of his kingdom into several regions, each overseen by a governor loyal to him. These governors were bestowed with the authority to collect taxes, enforce laws, and ensure the welfare of the people. To keep a close watch on these governors and prevent corruption, Nynetjer appointed royal inspectors who reported directly to the palace. Nynetjer's reforms did not stop there. He saw the need for meticulous record-keeping. He established a central registry where detailed accounts of tax collections, census data, and resource distribution were maintained. This registry enabled the pharaoh to monitor the state's wealth and resources accurately and make informed decisions. The restructured system led to an increase in tax revenues which allowed Nynetjer to invest in grand architectural projects, strengthening Egypt's infrastructure. With better governance, the distant territories felt more connected to the heart of the empire, and the unity of Egypt was reinforced. Years passed, and the fruits of Nynetjer's governance were evident. Under the reign of Pharaoh Raneb, Egypt witnessed a remarkable period of economic stabilization. Raneb's governance was characterized by a series of improvements in agricultural practices, including the creation of more advanced irrigation systems and the introduction of crop rotation. These changes led to an unprecedented surplus in crop production. With more food available, the people of Egypt were well fed, and the population began to grow. This surplus also allowed for surplus grain to be stored, which would be crucial during times of drought or poor harvests. Trade routes saw significant expansion during this time, under both Raneb and his successor, Pharaoh Nynetjer. With Egypt's agricultural resources flourishing, it became a vital trading partner for neighboring regions. Caravans were regularly sent out to trade goods such as grain, flax, and papyrus, in exchange for luxury items and resources not readily available in Egypt, including precious metals, timber, and exotic animals. Pharaoh Nynetjer continued this trend by focusing on the administration of resources. He built on Raneb's foundation by implementing a more efficient bureaucratic system that ensured the wealth generated from agriculture and trade was meticulously managed. Nynetjer's administration is noted for recording and redistributing surplus resources in a way that maximized their benefit to the state and its people. The combination of a strong agricultural base, expanded trade, and efficient resource management resulted in economic prosperity that bolstered the state's stability and facilitated ambitious construction projects and cultural developments. This era under Raneb and Nynetjer is often looked back upon as a golden age of economic growth and stability in ancient Egypt. During the Second Dynasty, Egypt underwent a tremendous expansion of its trade networks, a key factor in the nation's ascent as a preeminent power in the ancient world. The pharaohs, whose reigns were marked by both ambition and strategic foresight, encouraged exchanges with neighboring regions, notably Nubia to the south and the Levant to the northeast. This commercial proliferation was not merely a pursuit of wealth but a cornerstone of Egypt's economic health and its broader socio-political aspirations. Nubia provided an array of exotic goods that fascinated the Egyptian elite, including gold, ivory, and ebony. This exchange was not just a matter of supply and demand but a complex interplay of mutual benefit, diplomacy, and occasionally coercion. The rich, fertile lands and mineral wealth of Nubia complemented Egypt's own resources, enhancing the prosperity of both kingdoms. Likewise, trade with the Levant brought in cedarwood, oils, resins, and a variety of luxury items that became staples in Egyptian society. These goods were not only utilized for practical purposes but also symbolized the interconnectedness and power of Egypt in the region. The integration of these exotic items into daily and ceremonial life in Egypt further solidified the status of the pharaohs and their divine rule. Beyond mere economics, the expansion of trade networks during the Second Dynasty fostered cultural exchanges, introducing new technologies, artistic influences, and ideas that would leave an indelible mark on Egypt's historical legacy. This period set the stage for Egypt's sustained influence and cultural flourishing, showcasing the significance of trade as a vehicle for growth and dominance. Through the deliberate and strategic expansion of trade networks, the pharaohs ensured that Egypt not only amassed wealth but also cultivated a far-reaching legacy that resonated throughout the ancient world. The Second Dynasty of ancient Egypt continued the architectural traditions set by its predecessors, undertaking several significant building projects that left a lasting mark on history. These projects included the construction of temples and royal tombs, which were not just feats of engineering but symbols of the pharaoh's divine authority and absolute control over the vast resources and labor of the kingdom. Temples during this period were grand structures designed for religious ceremonies and honoring the gods. Built with materials ranging from mud brick to stone, these temples often featured intricate carvings and elaborate decorations that depicted scenes of mythology and daily life. They served as centers of worship and played a vital role in maintaining the cultural and spiritual well-being of the society. Meanwhile, the royal tombs, majestic and imposing, were meticulously designed to ensure the pharaoh's safe passage to the afterlife. These tombs were built with immense precision and skill, often involving complex underground chambers and passageways. The construction of such tombs required a highly organized workforce and showcased the pharaoh's centralized control over the nation's resources and labor. The architectural feats of the Second Dynasty not only demonstrated the technical prowess of the ancient Egyptians but also reinforced the socio-political structure of the time. The grandeur of the buildings served to remind the populace of the pharaoh's power and the unity of the kingdom under his rule. Through the continuation of these architectural traditions, the Second Dynasty ensured the stability and continuity of their civilization, leaving behind physical reminders of their authority that would endure for millennia. During the reign of Pharaoh Nynetjer in ancient Egypt, a wave of legal and administrative reforms reshaped the kingdom's governance and justice system. Nynetjer, known for his vision and dedication to the well-being of his people, sought to bring stability and order to his realm. He understood that a well-structured legal system was crucial for maintaining peace and preventing chaos. One of his notable acts was the codification of laws. Before this, laws were often passed down orally, leading to inconsistencies and confusion. Nynetjer directed his scribes to document the laws, creating a written code that could be uniformly applied across the kingdom. This codification helped clarify rights and responsibilities for all citizens, from the common folk to the nobility, ensuring a fairer society. In addition to codifying laws, Nynetjer established a network of courts to handle civil and criminal matters. These courts were strategically located throughout the kingdom, making access to justice more widespread. Judges were appointed based on their integrity and understanding of the laws, rather than on their social status or connections, a move that further promoted fairness. The introduction of these courts allowed for more efficient resolution of disputes and crimes, curbing the potential for vigilantism and arbitrary punishments. By addressing grievances and enforcing laws systematically, the courts became pillars of stability within Nynetjer's Egypt. Nynetjer's administrative reforms extended beyond the legal sphere. He overhauled the bureaucratic system, streamlining processes to enhance efficiency and reduce corruption. Administrative offices were reorganized to ensure better oversight and accountability. Nynetjer also promoted the use of record-keeping, which enabled more effective management of resources and population. During the Second Dynasty of ancient Egypt, the pharaohs embarked on numerous military campaigns with the dual purpose of securing and expanding their kingdom's borders. These undertakings were essential in protecting vital trade routes that sustained the kingdom's economy, ensuring the security and prosperity of Egypt. The pharaohs, whose identities were often shrouded in the mists of time, saw these campaigns as crucial displays of power and authority, solidifying their dominance both within and beyond their borders. It was a time of both strategic defense and valiant expansion, as the pharaohs aimed to fortify Egypt against potential invaders while also seeking opportunities for conquest. The military strategies employed during these campaigns were intricate and well-planned, involving not only land battles but also the control of river routes and coastal areas. The pharaohs led armies composed of charioteers, archers, and infantry, each playing a crucial role in the success of the military operations. Victories in these campaigns were often commemorated with grand monuments and inscriptions, serving as enduring testaments to the pharaoh's strength and the might of Egypt. These military exploits reinforced the pharaoh's reputation as a powerful and divine ruler, whose capability to protect and expand the kingdom was unquestionable. The successful campaigns bolstered the morale of the people and the prestige of the pharaoh, weaving tales of heroism and divine favor that echoed through the ages. In essence, the military campaigns of the Second Dynasty pharaohs were more than mere battles. They were pivotal events that shaped the course of Egyptian history and left a lasting legacy of resilience, power, and authority. The Second Dynasty of Egypt was a transformative era wherein the cultural integration of Upper and Lower Egypt was a paramount endeavor. This period was marked by the concerted efforts of pharaohs to unite the distinct cultures of the two regions into a single, cohesive national identity. Religious practices played a crucial role in this integration. Temples and religious rituals were standardized across the two regions, promoting a unified belief system that helped bridge the cultural divides. Shared deities and religious ceremonies fostered a sense of collective identity among the population. Administrative policies were also pivotal in melding the cultures of Upper and Lower Egypt. The pharaohs implemented a centralized bureaucratic system that was impartial and inclusive of officials from both regions. By appointing administrators who were well-versed in the customs and practices of both Upper and Lower Egypt, the monarchy ensured that governmental operations ran smoothly and fairly. This approach bolstered trust in the central authority and fostered a sense of unity. Intermarriages among the elite further solidified the integration efforts. By strategically marrying into influential families from both regions, the pharaohs and their close advisors created familial bonds that transcended regional divisions. These alliances not only consolidated power but also facilitated cultural exchange and mutual understanding. This blending of traditions and values contributed to a more stable and harmonious society. The Second Dynasty's focus on cultural integration proved to be a cornerstone for Egypt's stability and prosperity. By fostering religious unity, implementing inclusive administrative policies, and promoting strategic intermarriages, the pharaohs of this era successfully merged the distinct cultures of Upper and Lower Egypt. This cohesive national identity not only ensured the kingdom's stability but also laid the foundation for its future achievements. The Second Dynasty of ancient Egypt marked a period of significant achievements and developments that laid the foundation for a flourishing civilization. During this time, early pharaohs worked tirelessly to establish strong centralized authority, consolidate political power, and promote cultural and technological advancements. One of the key achievements was the establishment of a more structured administrative system, which helped streamline governance and improve efficiency throughout the kingdom. The pharaohs also focused on expanding the economy by encouraging agricultural practices and trade, which led to increased productivity and wealth. Additionally, this period saw advancements in architecture and construction techniques, with the building of impressive structures that showcased the ingenuity and capabilities of the ancient Egyptians. The achievements of the Second Dynasty played a crucial role in shaping the future of Egypt, setting the stage for the remarkable civilization that it would become.